This is the Chupacabra, and you're listening to the Paranormal Puncher.
Yeah, top hats to anal probing. That's how we do it around here.
Then they had a flatbread truck.
Flatbread truck.
They had a flatbed truck.
That's the tastiest truck on the planet.
Holy moly, there's a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's my phone?
Yeah.
It came into my suitcase. I threw it off
did what in a suitcase?
They attribute it to El Vampiro de Mocha, the vampire of Mocha. It was
Vampire of
chocolate.
of Mocha. Yeah.
That's right. Hey, stop all the beaming.
Stop all the beaming, UFO.
Hashtag stop the beaming.
Oh, man.
Hey, friends. Welcome to Paranormal Punchers. I'm Mark.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Nash.
I'm Dave.
And on this episode, we're going to discuss the Bridgewater Triangle.
Dun dun.
Located in Massachusetts, so you already know it's wicked weird.
Easy, easy, Southie.
Before we get there, guys, I just want to give some shout-outs to some people that sent us some topic ideas, some great comments, and they're awesome. So Matt from Australia, he said he really enjoys the show, and he'd love us to tackle an Australian topic. So he has here, especially our gals, G-A-O-L-S, and I think I looked this up, and it's like their prison.
Okay.
Jails.
And he said, old Melbourne gal. Matt, I'm probably not saying that right.
Jail.
Is it? That's how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Jail. Oh, okay.
Wow, did I sound stupid?
I didn't know.
You pronounced G-A-O-L, jail.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's new for me.
So we're in America
more you
when that
know.
is weird.
Right.
But, you know what? Whatever.
Yeah, well, he said a lot of amazing history and stories. So, yeah, we'll put that on the list, Matt. Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
And we'll say it correctly in the future. Promise.
Yep.
Now, if I am wrong about that, there is a brewery up at Lake Seneca in New York that gave me the story of all of that. So if I'm wrong, the brewery's
You're going
wrong.
to pass the buck on.
But they are, they come from the Irish tradition and said that's definitely how it's said.
So, okay, interesting.
is jail.
Wow. Why didn't you tell me that before I started going, gal?
Because I didn't know you were going to talk about it.
Because you never pay attention.
Well, and
teasing, my bad.
any opportunity we can to have things go slightly askew is a good opportunity.
True story.
Yeah.
Lily, she sent us a message. She said, hey, guys, love your podcast. She listens all the time with her dad, which is super cool. They live in Utah and obsessed with the Skinwalker Ranch. So
Nice.
she hopefully enjoyed that episode.
Yeah.
And hopefully her and her dad get to go there someday, she says. And there's a lot of weird things in Utah that she thought we might be interested in. There's a place called the Fear Factory, which is an old abandoned factory. And many people believe it's actually haunted because some of the odd things that happen there. For example, one worker supposedly went outside during his lunch break and put his head on the railroad tracks and a train drove over it.
Oh, my God.
That's
That's insane.
Would that be considered workman's comp?
I don't know.
Is that a paid break?
And it looks like the Ghost Adventures are there. But thank you so much for the podcast. Keep up the amazing work. Stay weird. Lily, thank you. That's so kick-ass that you and your dad listen to the
I
show
know.
together.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thank you so much.
Please don't ever put your hand on a railroad track.
I know.
There's no need for that.
Yeah.
We heard back from Meg. She's the one who gave us the topic idea for the Limp Mansion.
Okay.
She just wanted to say thank you for featuring the story, her topic idea. And remember she also had that dream where it's like something grabbed her ankle.
Oh, yeah.
She said, and we had theorized, like, what happened? Blah blah blah. Hold on, Nash was distracting me.
I was I was pantomiming.
All right, so to your question, or one of our questions, she said there was no bruising, but she could feel like residual feeling of someone squeezing her ankle when she woke up.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
So that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, and she has another topic idea. She says, my Kiwi boyfriend told me about this thing. It's pretty weird. There's a phenomenon called the Min Min lights in Australia.
The Min Min?
The Min Min lights.
That sounds familiar.
where people see lights in the distance, they try to follow it, and they just disappear, never to be heard from again.
Not like falling off a cliff, but just like poof, gone.
I don't know. I mean, they're never...
Do they have
We
cliffs
need
out
to
there?
look it up.
Yeah.
The Min lights. Thanks, Meg.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much for listening. Stop messing with my microphone, bro.
I'm trying to point it at you. You're not talking directly at it.
Daniel sent us a message. He said, if you want to know... I'm talking to my microphone fine. Don't you be...
Who's running this show?
Yeah, right.
Come on.
Yeah,
Who's doing this here?
Daniel said, if you want to know more about Skinwalker Ranch, after Bigelow bought it, George Knapp co-wrote a book with one of Bigelow's science advisors called Hunt for the Skinwalker.
Okay.
So thanks, Daniel. That sounds really cool. Mm-hmm. Let's see. We heard from Obi-Wan Jacoby on Twitter.
Yes.
He found the podcast today. He's listened to it. He thinks it's good. And he tells us a whole story here that I might want to save for like a separate story time.
Ooh, okay.
Story time with Mark.
Obi-Wan Jacoby, thank you so much for listening. Thanks for interacting with us on Twitter.
The tweet or...
We heard from Emily. She's slowly catching up on the podcast. She heard on Johnny Cash, none of us could figure out what a riding habit is.
A riding habit? Isn't that a pair of pants?
Oh, now you're now you
Right,
know
I
what it
called that, huh? Right? My, you know.
She says a riding habit is, in fact, what a lady would wear to go horseback riding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
A
got
longer
those-
and fuller skirt to allow her to ride side saddle gracefully and modestly. So thank you so much for dropping some knowledge, Emily.
Yeah.
We appreciate that, and thanks for listening to the show.
I thought they were the pants with the big wings on the side.
Turns out you're completely wrong.
I was wrong. That's why, you know, they're aerodynamic ones that help you fly.
No, that's not it.
Wingsuit?
Yeah, well, but they're on your pants. They're just on the thighs. They're very snazzy.
Oh, gosh. Cody left us a review on Facebook. He said, started listening about a week ago and haven't stopped. He drives a semi-truck, and we keep him entertained, so that's awesome.
Sweet.
Nice.
He said, thank you for all you do, guys, and keep punching. If we're ever in Southern California area, we should grab a pint.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Cody, it would be more like 2, maybe 3 pints.
Yeah.
But definitely, that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Where in SoCal? Let us know.
I'll book a flight.
Yeah, we're coming out now.
All right.
I'll be out there.
We heard from Caroline. She dropped a review on Facebook. Definitely helps me get through the day. Entertaining and upbeat. She loves how we explore all paranormal topics.
Cool.
Thank you.
And we scratched the surface of every single one of them, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Just scratching the surface.
We heard from Kristener B143 on iTunes. Dropped a review. It's a fun show with good hosts.
Thank you.
Nice.
The topics are pretty fun to listen to, and you don't feel like you're listening to a group of wannabe scientists.
No.
Except me.
More like your neighbor or something. Cool show.
Well, thank you. We are definitely...
Kristener B143, yeah, we're definitely like your cool neighbor. Not like that neighbor that never cuts his grass. So he's got like a jungle right next to you.
right.
We're like the cool neighbors that brew beer and then share it with you.
And then have you come over and drink a few with us.
Thank you so much. And we heard from at NerdHumB on Twitter. He just found our podcast, and now he's trying to catch up. Slow down.
So easy, big fella. Easy.
And he has a topic idea.
Oh.
He said, the one thing I haven't seen in your titles about this place called Boston, Ohio, otherwise known as Helltown. Have we heard of it?
I feel like I came across something about it not too long ago, but I didn't really look into it. It just intrigued me that it's called Helltown.
Yeah.
That sounds... Oh, I'm thinking of Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Yes.
Is that what?
That's
right?
what I was thinking.
Ah, so it's
Rowdy
not
Roddy
Helltown.
Piper.
It's Frogtown. Right.
No, I know. I'm going to look it up, though.
Helltown.
Yeah. Thanks for the idea.
Sounds like a happy place.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
You know?
It's right next to the Hell House in Indiana, I guess. And one little quick shout out to one of your coworkers,
Yes.
Kevin. He bought the comic book,
Oh, right on.
and the other night when it was bedtime, he asked his 6-year-old boy to go grab a book. They were going to read it, for bedtime. He came back with the Paranormal Punchers comic book.
Yep.
Nice.
How cool was that?
I know, and he's read it before, so like this was like a reread.
Right. Nice.
Which is very cool.
Right on. Well, it's a solid read that the whole family can enjoy.
know.
You know?
I guess his kid's obsessed with Bigfoot,
He
kind of like I am.
is. Yeah.
So,
It's a good one.
Kevin, let your son know that everything about Bigfoot in that comic book is not accurate.
It is exactly accurate, 100% true.
Oh, okay.
He's a
But
re-
if you encounter Bigfoot in real life, use caution.
yeah, and take a solid picture. Don't move.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Thanks, everyone, for sending feedback. We love hearing from you. Hit her up, paranormalpunches.com, if you want to fill out the form and send us a message. Or Facebook. Or Twitter. Or Instagram.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Do we have a Snapchat?
No. Do
No.
you want to maintain a
iTunes.
Snapchat?
Don't
No.
forget iTunes. You didn't say iTunes.
I hate Snapchat.
Yeah, well, you can't really. You can leave a review on iTunes.
Yeah, see? There you go.
But it's better to interact. By
Yeah,
sending
it
us a
is.
message.
Send
and
us
a
an
topic
email.
idea.
We even have shirts you can look at and you can purchase.
Nash.derailconversation.
That's right. .com.
All right, so let's get into this here.
Okay.
The Bridgewater Triangle, Massachusetts, where my buddy Dynamo Mars lives. I checked. He's not in the triangle,
No.
but it'd be pretty hilarious if he was. But he did tell me he wasn't able to join us on the show today. He did say he's never been there, but all he heard is very, very weird stuff about this particular area. So just let me get my notes here. I'm switching between the listener feedback notes and my Bridgewater Triangle notes. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so now this is a 200 square mile area in like I said, Massachusetts, with a history of the paranormal, but not just the paranormal. This is like everything
Yeah.
you can think
It's
of
all of the above.
Yeah, it's a giant
has been
blender
spotted
of
here.
stuff. It's
I like the way. Okay, that's cool. So it is a giant blender of paranormal,
paranormal craziness.
all mixed up into a delicious drink with an umbrella on top.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. With tikis.
So it's like 30 miles south of Boston, which isn't that far. I'm surprised Worcester. I have to look on a map again. I've only been to Massachusetts twice, so I'm not that familiar with the area.
Right.
Now, it was named the Triangle by famed paranormal researcher Lauren Coleman. Now, I don't know if you guys ever heard that name.
We talked about it. About him.
Yeah, apparently, because I saw somebody leave a comment on the Podbean app. I think it must have been the Enfield Horror episode. Somebody referred to Lauren as she.
Okay.
And the comment was, LOL, Lauren is a guy.
Lore.
Or a dude. So, yeah, now we know. But, I work with the Lauren, so I assume it was me who screwed it up. But, yeah, Lauren Coleman, author of Mysterious America. He's the one who named this. He named it the Bridgewater Triangle back in 1970. So he got really tipped off about the weird stuff. So he moved from, like, Cali to, like... somewhere in Massachusetts.
Right outside the triangle?
I hope it was right outside.
That would be a bad move.
But he started researching this area and just realized like where the reports are coming and everything like that. When you plot it out on a map, it kind of makes a triangle. So he had.
Yeah. And Bridgewater, the town of Bridgewater, I think, is in the
Isn't there like
center.
there's two Bridgewaters?
There might be like an east or west or Bridgewater, and then there's Bridgewater. Anyway, yeah, that town is like kind of in the center of the triangle. So that's why I think he called it the Bridgewater.
And the Bridgewater Triangle.
Anyway.
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
sounds good.
But reports of the weird, I mean, they go back as far as I got a little ditty here from 1760.
Yep.
Right.
Did you guys? Okay, so everybody saw this one.
Yeah.
People reported the sphere of fire hovering, over the area, emitting light. They said so bright, but even in full daylight, it was still casting shadows and stuff.
Yeah.
So was it swamp gas? Was it a UFO? I mean, to be
Well, I think
that
it was
big and
like-
bright, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah. It was like, I think it was up in the sky a little bit. So like they're saying that this is the first documented UFO sighting in America. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Now, this place has a swamp, Hockomock Swamp. It's got a big lake. It's got forests. And like I said, UFOs, Bigfoot, ghosts, will-o-wisps. I mean, or will-o'-the-wisp. I don't know. This has everything. But we should get into a little bit of the history because it also has what every horror movie has. Like when your situation's haunted, oh, bro, your house is built on an Indian burial ground.
Right.
Well, one of the things that I came across, it's funny that you say that about an Indian burial ground because one of the things that I came across that I think it might have started the whole thing. It was based on, it said that in 1659, the forest land that was forming the town of Freetown was purchased from the Wampanoag tribe in 1659, and many Native Americans have claimed that the odd and evil events which happened over the next 350 years are the result of a tribal curse. Mm-hmm. So that could have been the seed that started all of this other from 1659.
There was a bloody, one of the most bloodiest wars in America's history in like 1675. King Philip's War?
Yeah, 1675 to 1676.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 14 months that it lasted. But so this war, it's called King Philip's War. And King Philip, he was the Pukwudgie. I'm sorry.
Oh, one of them.
Yeah, the chief, his name was Chief Metacom. And then, I'm sorry, I butchered that really bad. But he was a.k.a. King Philip. That's what he kind of, I guess, went by.
Was that what the English?
Probably.
The colonials?
Yeah, probably.
Colonists? Is that what they called them?
But yeah, he led a bloody uprising of a couple different tribes. And it lasted 14 months.
Wow.
There was 12 towns, frontier towns that were destroyed. Yeah, it was very bloody. A lot of people died, but it only ended when King Philip was captured and beheaded. And then a lot of his warriors, they were either sold into slavery or they ran off to Canada.
Wow.
Now, King Philip wasn't only just beheaded. He was drawn and quartered, beheaded.
Sucks.
They put his head on a spike, and it stood in front of this fort for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get your land cursed, that's kind of probably how you do it, right?
That'll do it, yep.
Drawing and quartering is usually only reserved for regicide, so that's kind of he did some good or bad, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. So 14 months of war in that age is like hatchets and muskets and oh my god,
that was awful.
It was a very bloody
and
war.
Parts and golly jeepers, that would be gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I feel like that's kind of what started a lot of what happened or happens in this area. Like that was the catalyst, maybe.
But you could definitely say it's a catalyst. I've watched enough horror movies to know.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the whole thing behind the movie Poltergeist? That new residential that
was built on
area.
a
It was built on
Yeah.
So I mean, I learned enough from horror movies to know
The pool scene is terrible.
But this place is attracting people.
Real skeletons.
UFO sightings. People have seen ghost Native Americans canoeing.
Yes.
Up the lake or is there a river there? But also, of course, Bigfoot. There's something called a Pukwudgie.
Yep. And that's local to the area.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
Let's go.
Don't ask me to
into
spell it.
the puck. Could you spell that? The
Pukwudgie.
Pukwudgie.
Pukwudgie is
To win the 2018 spelling bee.
It's a Delaware and Wampanoag word. I'm assuming those are two tribes. And it means little wild man of the forest. This creature is dwarf-like. It's got gray skin, large ears, and fingers and noses.
Noses? He had multiple?
Wow.
Well,
one in the front,
I'm
one in the back.
sorry.
One on the
Better
top, one on
smell
the
you
bottom.
with, my dear.
Is he covered like a beholder, but he's covered in noses?
Anyway,
That'd be weird.
it has magical powers, abilities, and some traits that are associated with him that He can disappear and shapeshift, and some have said that he possesses poison arrows and is able to start fires.
So, and I thought I read like the Pukwudgie is kind of like a fairy. Fairy of the forest that could lure you in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just had mentioned that about the Min lights.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think, is it Scotland or Ireland? The Willow of the Wisps.
Yes.
Right.
Not Will-o-wisp. Willow of the Wisps.
Oh, the wisp. But yeah.
And we have something like that here in PA, up here around Chickies Rock, or I'm sure it's. But there's these lights that people see and they try to follow. So, all right, so that's interesting because, well, it's going on here in Massachusetts.
Right.
It's going on here in Pennsylvania and little town of Columbia and Australia.
Right.
So what is it?
Yeah.
And the Foggy Mountain Lights.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Brown Mountain Lights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Foggy Mountain.
Foggy Mountain.
That sounds like a killer country song, though. Just so you know.
No, if we looked into like every state, I'm sure they have some kind of legend or whatever.
Yeah. That's why I find it so interesting. Like everybody has a
Similar
version of this.
But now, well, yeah, for a topic for another episode, but the Min lights are a little different in that there are no hills or mountains in the way.
Right.
It's very flat, and, I was just doing my kind of research on it, and it's really an interesting topic. All of the lights that we've been talking about are around, structures that are in the way, mountains, hills, that would not be, cars from 200 miles away.
Right.
So,
We have to explore that.
yes.
I have one other thing. According to lore, the Pukwudgies will, if you're not paying attention, will shove you off Assinet Ledge, which is in the Freetown State Forest.
They'll shove you off of it?
Yeah, they'll shove you off if
big
they're
are these
given the
things?
chance. They're little. They're
how-
little wild men.
So like little like 6 inches tall, or little like a foot and a half tall, 2 feet tall.
You know what? I didn't find the actual like.
No, just
doesn't
a
matter.
couple feet.
Yeah.
That's why, because I wanted to bring this up. All right, so this one dude,
Okay.
back in like 1990, he was walking his dog at night. The story goes, he works a late shift. So he would get home late and walk his dog at night. And he was walking along this one trail. Don't know exactly where it was, but it was in the triangle. Mm-hmm. And this little, like maybe 3 foot tall, covered in hair, creature came out of the woods, was looking at him, and it was motioning to him and was saying something like,
"E want you.
we want you.
E want you.
E want you.
Here.
E want you.
E want you. Here."
Now, this guy wrote a whole blog, and you find on the internet, he tells his entire story. What I found interesting about the story is like, okay, so here in PA, we just talked about the Willow of the Wisps that have been reported.
Right.
But we have a whole thing around here called an albatwitch, which is like a 3 foot little Bigfoot.
Right.
Yep.
Small foot. Oh, that's probably copyrighted by, isn't that like a movie that just came
Yeah,
out?
there's a movie.
DreamWorks probably got that
Yeah.
copyrighted. So I was like, that's interesting because he is describing what we're about to go next month to a festival
Right.
for, the albatwitch. I'm like,
Yep.
that's... Now, but I also read some people think that was a Pukwudgie. We want you. Come here. Luring him into the woods, like, because I would be really half tempted. No, I would definitely have reached out. When he reached his hand out, I would have put mine in his hand and been magical. Like something out of E.T., and we would have walked into the woods together. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Would you
Nice
not?
knowing you.
Yes.
Right.
Well, wouldn't you? That's the thing. Like, I think that's an alien or a mini Bigfoot. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
want to just go learn more?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
You'd run the other way.
I'd probably kick it in the head.
Well, I think
Whoa.
That's
Violence.
What if it's
That's
not?
kind of
Everything.
that's kind of violent, Dave. You know.
What if he really? What if he's like, he want you? Like, we want to show you something
If
really
this
cool,
was a
and you're like,
D&D
wow,
quest,
and it showed you like the
And
recipe for the best beer on the planet. But you kicked him in the head first.
And took the recipe and then went and brewed it.
yeah,
but I
exactly.
think,
Yeah,
I
if
think
this was a D&D quest, I would resort to violence first. That would
Well,
be
it's a
my
good
initial
thing
reaction.
that my character would ask him a question first before you just started going Iron Fist on his
But that
head.
means they have a rudimentary understanding of our language.
Right.
right.
Yeah, so that would anytime you're being lured in by something similar to that, that means you would go.
I'm saying I would be so
Mark, I want you to give
overwhelmed
me
with fascination.
$100. Come on, Mark.
Well, that won't work. You need to be 3 foot and covered in hair.
Okay, well, I'm
So
6
what
foot.
if you're on a boat and as you're sailing the ocean blue, some naked woman is out there in the
yeah,
water
that's
saying,
right.
"We want you."
Yeah, exactly.
Man, Speedos would be on. I'm never going to be out sailing. That's not my
It's
thing.
called a siren. They're
know.
known to kill.
They kill you.
I know.
Anyway, in the story, he talked about like he was with his dog. His dog was like a German Shepherd or like
Yeah, it was actually a Shepherd Rottweiler mix.
Yes.
Just like
our dog.
Just like our dog.
And usually that dog is like there's no fear in this dog, but apparently this dog was just freaking out. So I feel like that would be an indication
Yeah.
for me, like, yeah, I'm not going with this little Pukwudgie. I'm going to turn around and leave.
I'd rather lure it to me than me go with it.
Or kick it in the head.
I am twice the size, height-wise, and I could put it in the back, knock it out, put it back, and get it tested or something. I'm not going to go with that. I would not go with a Pukwudgie.
I'm so curious. Like right away, you want to kidnap it and have it tested.
Yeah.
You want to
Kick it.
roundhouse kick it in the face.
No, straight up front kick.
Yeah,
you
you
want
want
front
you,
kick.
You want to go for the
right up
uprights.
jaw.
Just lift it up.
And I'm like, well, maybe
You want to
like,
go to the camp.
Maybe he's like, what if it's like I can show you all the time in space?
Then just show me. I don't need to go with you.
What if it was like Doctor Who?
If you're capable of that, then don't come up to me in some creepy
you wouldn't
skin
be in
that
a
is
forest.
going to scare me
What if
and
he's-
say, "Come to me" or whatever that.
He
word-
wants you.
He wants you. Yeah.
Come
No,
on, you. Come.
if you're smart enough to figure out all time and space, you know English. Come up. Tell me about it.
That's right.
Let's go.
That's correct. You would have a better understanding of English.
Or give me some plans and let me build something in the sea where Jodie Foster drops through a hole and ends up in space time.
Or let's
Miss,
just
what would you do?
Oh, I would run away.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you guys are doing other things, but I'm leaving.
I would
so-
definitely want to maybe just say, you know what, let's have a conversation here. I'm not going to go with you. I could put you in my trunk of my car,
Oof.
but I don't want to do that. Let's just
Yeah.
have a conversation here. And if you're not sharing the mysteries of the universe, well, then I'm going to go to the Dave plan and turn into Jean-Claude Van Damme and see how far I can kick this guy.
Oh,
yeah, but
boy.
you have no idea if the Pukwudgie, being a magical creature, he just just put his hand up, stop your foot in midair, and then, whoosh, and then start doing that thing like the Hulk did to Loki to you.
Okay, but no, if that's the case, if that happens, like, we would take our best instinct, we would apply what we could do at that time, and he was better, and he beat us. Okay, that's that.
Yeah.
That's fine. But it's not like we just willingly walked into his trap.
That's right, because he could be magical, projecting a false front, and off the cliff you go, and then he eats you.
Oof.
That's no good, Mark. No good. Don't go with the little guy of the forest.
All right, well, okay, fine. Well, there's other things
Okay.
to check out. Okay, like I mentioned so strange. One would run, one would join. Oh my god, so crazy.
One would field goal.
The heart, the heart of the triangle is the Hakamak Swamp.
Yes.
Now, there's
the name again?
The
Hakamak.
Hakamak.
Wait, what was it?
Hakamak.
Okay.
Now, people have reported seeing some crazy stuff in here.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, firebirds, like giant birds. But some people reported giant snakes,
Yep.
red-eyed dogs,
Yep.
and Bigfoot. Now,
Were the red-eyed dogs like through a camera or
no, I don't know, but we were just talking about.
No.
Did you just say it's his eye shine?
Yeah,
his
yeah.
eye shine. No, the one dog was so big, it was the size of this dude's ponies, and it was eating this dude's ponies.
Yep.
So that is not a normal sized dog.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the Skinwalker Ranch dog that came up to that dude's chest.
Yeah.
That's not a normal dog.
No.
That's not a house pet.
no? That's like Ghostbusters.
And a giant snake, all right, that's terrifying. And I'm pretty sure if I ran into a 2-foot snake, I'd come running back out and telling you it was 20 foot because
Right.
snakes.
Yeah.
What?
So I don't know
I'm
about
okay
this.
with snakes.
I'm okay with snakes too.
Not
They're
spiders,
fine.
but
Yeah.
Now, if it was as big as it says that it's big as a tree trunk or that's
well,
that's
and
a
it depends.
big
If it's a
snake.
constrictor, you just stay away from it circling you. If it's poisonous and like wants to bite you, then
Right.
go away.
Yeah, super big snake. They're still fast, but I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, I would be really impressed, but I wouldn't get close enough for it to be like.
Oh, okay. I thought for a second you were going to tell me that you could take out a big ass snake.
No way. Are you kidding
Constrictor
me?
would take you.
Yeah, there was
that would be it.
Yeah.
an old school video of a was it a python fighting a puma,
Yeah.
and the python won. Mm-hmm. You know,
Wow.
out in the wild, an actual full adult puma, and
How big's a puma?
Like a panther, like a black panther.
Okay. The triangle also has shadow cats. Someone's seen a phantom panther.
Oh, jeez.
They call it the Mansfield mystery cat.
Isn't a puma a mountain lion?
It's a puma.
I thought it was a mountain lion. Well, both. I thought it was the same name.
Our mountain lions are. I don't know.
Anyways,
I'm not a biologist. I don't know. That's a good question. But I do want to split hairs on the thunderbird. Because the thunderbird, they said they found giant birds that look like thunderbirds.
What I say? Firebird.
you said firebird.
Those are more like on fire.
That's pretty awesome.
But they also found pterodactyl-like birds. Mm-hmm. So they found thunderbirds and or pterodactyl
Yeah.
birds.
Yeah.
Pterodactyl-looking birds. So
Right.
slightly different. You know, thunderbird and firebird. They're on fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
That's right. But seeing a pterodactyl flying around, that's
Yeah.
like land of
I
the
know.
lost
You know,
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I did see one report that somebody saw two of them fighting midair.
Oh, like Rodan.
Right.
Nice.
And then there was another report that they
watch that.
described
Mm-hmm.
this thunderbird as a human with wings. So
What?
I know.
Did he have a beak?
I don't know.
'Cause I can tell-
That was the vulture out of the Spider-Man
a
comic.
human with wings isn't going to have much
Icarus.
fighting
Oh,
oomph
yeah.
in him.
Did he fly too close to the sun?
Well, because if you're
why
flying
he's
and
the
you're a
Firebird.
human,
Yeah.
you've got nothing to attack with. You have no beak
Right.
and no claws, no talons. All you have is soft pasty and wings. So hopefully it was more of a bird and had
Yeah.
Now, interesting thing about the Hockomock, the name.
peckered. Yeah.
Where do you guys? All right, so they're over here doing
I
little
know.
claw movements.
Little stinger.
Interesting
Bite
tidbit
scratch.
about the Hockomock is the Native American Hockomock. They call it like a place of spirits, but the Colonials
yeah.
they named it Devil Swamp.
Yep.
Well, it's a nice place to visit. It's just a little warm in the summer, like where the devil would live. So
Yeah.
Well, but I think it's, that could easily just be a, for lack of a better term, difference of opinion. Like what was a sacred ground for somebody turns into, well, I really shouldn't be here, so it's devil's ground.
Right. I do know that they had a burial ground within that swamp.
Oh.
So, I mean, the place where spirits dwell, that literally
Because
could just mean
it's a burial.
It's a burial
Yeah.
ground.
I mean, I
But-
picture what's in Lord of the Rings with the swamp as Frodo
Oh,
and
yeah.
Sam are going through it, and the bodies are in the water when he falls in and everything.
yeah.
Like that whole thing is hallowed ground for those bodies, and they're
Right.
trespassing. So it comes across as scary, but that's because they're not supposed to be there.
Right.
I'm thinking of it more like a Google translation. It's a literal translation of the name, not denoting
Right.
what it is. Like a scorpion to us is dangerous, but in the Mexican culture, a scorpion is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Difference of opinions. Google translations.
I really want to understand that conversation or that comment there, but that's a different conversation.
What
so-
about scorpions?
Yeah,
Look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
Well, what I was trying to do was by saying that it was called the Devil's Swamp. This place beyond UFO sightings, Bigfoot, Pukwudgies. There's also been satanic
Yes.
rituals going down here. Some cult action, a serial killer. This place is just
Cursed.
cursed. So
It's just
all the
jacked up.
strange.
It's just
I don't know if
all
it's
jacked up.
attracting the strange too.
Right.
Is it a magnet?
Yeah, so
Right.
that's an interesting question. Like, you have an Indian burial ground that if you are part of that and it's a sacred ground, but you're not part of it, so it becomes devil's area. Mm-hmm. So then does that attract people to do satanic
Craziness.
and things like that? Is that add on to the curse? Does that get influenced by the curse? I mean, you figure, if you're a satanic priest or whatever they're called out there doing your rituals, you should be just as affected by the curse
Right.
as some paladin of light that's out there to, free the curse.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
But with a satanic ritual, if it is cursed, wouldn't that magnify it and kind of bring it together? Like,
Well, that depends if the curse is because, if the curse is a human element
Right.
of, okay, this is our sacred ground, you're trespassing, that's the curse. Or is the curse a deity curse of you're against the deity, in which case, if the deity of the dead is different than either the deity of Satan, whatever, however you want to call that, but it could magnify, it might not magnify.
Right.
I see the satanic, the serial killers, all that would be just as affected as normal people or people out there to pacify the land. And
yeah, maybe. But I would think that the killing and the mutilations, because weren't there a bunch of animal mutilations?
Yes, there was. Yeah.
or maybe that's like a sister curse that amplifies it, but they're not related. They're just, I don't know.
Yeah. And it was cattle.
Yeah.
Could be aliens.
Could be aliens.
I'm not saying it's aliens.
But it's
But it could have been aliens.
They do see UFOs, so who knows?
Now, there was a... This jumped out at me. I don't know why, but in the triangle, there's a graveyard. Well, there's probably several graveyards, but there was this one with a mausoleum, and these I don't know if they were kids, or whatever, broke into it and took the skull of this dead body.
Ooh.
They thought I don't know who was in the mausoleum, but they thought by drinking from this skull.
Oh, it's good times.
Oh.
Well, that they would gain powers,
Like super bad evil powers. So you turn into.
I don't know.
Super
I'm
cult
assuming like powers that they could do evil, do bad stuff.
I'm pretty sure I've been in this movie.
Right. And that's why it jumped out at me, because we wrote a whole short movie where people drink from a cursed skull and things do not work out too well.
Yeah.
Right.
That can't be clean though.
No, but it's
gotta be
filled with
gross.
hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'll
So
go for
I thought that was hilarious. 'Cause, well, originally the movie was Tuesday Night of the Living Dead.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, 10 years later, I was like, man, I still want to make that Drink from the Skull movie.
Yeah.
It turned into the new title is Scald.
Yep.
Nice.
And Ryan at Funk Brewing. Funk Brewing. E-Town in Emmaus. Ryan at Funk E-Town actually brewed a beer called Skull because we were supposed to tie in the release of the short movie
Yeah.
and the release of the beer. Well, guess who got done first?
Right.
It would be Ryan, the brewer.
Pretty sure he could make a scotch and it will get done.
I know.
Faster than we can make our movie, yeah. That would have been so cool to have
would've been awesome.
a short film.
And can release.
It would have been so easy to make if we just would have
Done it.
done it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, good intentions.
We work best when we just do things.
True story.
True.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but now we've had murders, we've had satanic rituals, we've had blood and mutilations and UFOs, but I also came across some crazy stuff like black helicopters and like government conspiracy type stuff happening in this place.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, all kinds of
yeah.
craziness.
Well, guess what?
Stranger Things. Sorry.
After the break, we're going to talk about that.
Let's do it.
Oh my God. Honey, look. It's Bigfoot.
No way. Let's go say hi. Hey, Mr. Bigfoot. What you reading?
You can call me Frank, and I'm reading the Paranormal Punchers comic book.
Paranormal Punchers?
Yeah, it's about a group of podcasters that get themselves in all kinds of paranormal trouble. It's like Scooby-Doo meets the X-Files, and it's hilarious.
Sounds great. Where can we get a copy?
Just head over to paranormalpunchers.com where you can find a comic book and all kinds of merchandise.
Thanks, Mr. Bigfoot. Have a nice day.
Thanks, you too. Oh, and look out for that bear.
Nash, what is like the one thing that could go wrong on a paranormal investigation?
Why, Mark? That's the lack of food.
People are putting in their backpack a EMF detector, a flashlight, a digital recorder, but if you forget that snack, your whole evening could be ruined.
That's exactly right.
So if you head over to mfjerky.com, you can order some delicious beef jerky. And if you use our code, SpookyJerky15, you can save 15% on your order. And it's a big savings. That way, when you're out doing an investigation, you're not going to worry about hunger pains. Mm-hmm. Your stomach's not going to growl and mess up a possible EVP.
Right, right.
And like we like to say here, Moses Family Jerky, the best thing to pack on your paranormal or normal adventure. And we're back. All right. Before the break, Nash, you're about to get deep on what the government's up to in the Triangle.
Yeah, I always have my ears and eyes out for craziness from our government, and it's they're out a lot these days. And I came across this story about black helicopters in the Triangle. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's nutty because there's all this UFO. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening inside the Bridgewater Triangle. But black helicopters?
Yeah.
That kind of goes against kind of the basis for all this UFO stuff and the craziness. But I thought, well, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. But so I came across a resident there who had an eyewitness account. Okay. Her name was Mary Lou Jones Drown, reported hearing a very loud helicopter noise that says Rehoboth on June 25th, 2002. Not, I think, Rehoboth Beach, but that's not the case.
No, I think
Rehoboth is a county in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Oh, see, there you go. See, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. No helicopters were apparent in the air when the noises were heard. She was able to locate and interview witnesses who told her that the mysterious helicopters equipped with spotlights were seen flying over the Palmer River School on the north side of Route 44. Mm-hmm. And a local farmer reported 2 black helicopters with spotlights were flying in formation above the trees. The choppers came from the southeast, from Mount Hope Bay in Swansea. Another report concerning July. This doesn't make any sense. Described it was gray camouflage or a striped helicopter type. Similar reports.
They were camouflage. How were they seen?
That's true.
The helicopters were camouflaged?
Well, and that was always one of my general questions. If there's a camouflage helicopter in the sky, how can you see it? Well, It's not camouflage unless it's sky blue.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Or it's just
Or night.
or nighttime, like the predator stuff. Yeah, I'm right there with you. But that just goes to there's some oddities happening on this Route 44.
Yes.
Right. So what? Go ahead. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay.
Go.
I was going to say the concept of the most likely these are government activity. Mm-hmm. The question is it normal government activity or are they investigating things that are going on?
Right.
Well, right, and that's just it. And I don't know. I don't know if anybody came across like underground bunkers.
I know. I was
No,
just
I did
thinking
not.
that.
But
Yeah.
I literally was thinking the same thing.
Okay.
I was like, what? All the UFO activity. Mm-hmm. Now, we didn't touch base on it. We just said there's a lot.
Yeah.
But people reported these 2 dudes anyway saw this giant ship that came over, shaped kind of like an arrow,
Right.
shining a huge spotlight down like it was searching for something.
Okay.
We talked about the giant fireball in the sky. Mm-hmm. People talked about seeing lights that were zooming around the swamp, changing colors, doing like patterns and formations. So whatever is attracting the UFOs and all the paranormal to the spot, I mean, obviously it's it would be on the government's radar.
Right.
But I was starting to think the same thing. What if there's the reason everything's here because there's some type of
There's something.
portal?
Right. But I mean, you guys have watched Stranger Things.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was no underground bunker. It was an office building that looked like every other office building.
Right.
That had a basement that really went down
Yeah.
pretty far. I mean, that's how you disguise something. You don't you don't make it look like a bunker.
You make it look like a target?
like a skyscraper,
Right.
and then nobody thinks it goes down as well as up.
Like
Exactly.
a post office.
Yeah.
As above.
But
So below.
it seemed like there was a ton of stuff having to do with this Route 44.
Yes.
Now, Alicia, you had a ton of stuff.
I have a few things. So there were 2 UFOs that were seen landing along Route 44 near Taunton.
UFO landings themselves.
Yes, and then there have been Bigfoot sightings on this road. Dave will talk about a ghostly situation as well.
A ginger ghost.
And then, the black helicopters they've been seen around Route 44.
So is this Route 44? Is that like? Oh, you've got a picture of it right there. Is it? It's east to west throughout the entire triangle.
Okay.
Or west to east, depending on how you.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! If a train leaves one going to the other. Nice. So it kind of cuts through the whole through the heart of it, really.
So Taunton is in the middle.
Okay.
Okay.
Where the Route 44, Taunton is like right in the dead center of the
Okay.
triangle.
Okay.
And then off to almost to the leftmost point of the triangle is where the red-headed hitchhiker has been seen.
Okay.
So this is your traditional hitchhiker, a horror story where people are driving and they see a hitchhiker and they stop to pick the person up and they just disappear. Some people have reported just driving through the hitchhiker.
That would be weird.
Which is weird. Like, okay, was that intentionally driving through it? Did it jump out in front of you?
Right.
Were you swerving off the side of the road to hit the hitchhiker? There's a lot of questions that
based upon the actual action of driving through a hitchhiker.
But in any case, the hitchhiker disappears. Probably, thankfully.
Yeah.
But in this case, the additional detail that's given is that this hitchhiker, very fiery red hair, long fiery red beard, and I don't know, given all the stories of gingers being able to swallow souls, this is not one disappearing hitchhiker that I
didn't hear that. What?
to follow. Like, I don't want him
Gingers
around
can
me.
swallow your soul.
Oh boy.
You didn't know
Well,
that?
no, I
didn't know
thought
that.
gingers had no souls.
Gingers have no souls, but they swallow the souls
what?
of those they meet.
What?
Okay.
I never heard of this. This is news to me.
I think for everybody listening, Dave has red hair.
Yeah.
I've been slowly devouring the souls of my three comrades
God.
over every episode.
Oh,
Episode
Lord.
200 is going to be
We're all sitting
Epic.
here going, welcome to the podcast.
Now, here's something I found that just interesting. I don't have a lot of deets, but so I'm still going to chuck it out there. You guys all know P.T. Barnum,
The circus dude?
Yeah.
circus dude. 3 of his freaks. I'm using air quotes, everybody, because that's what P.T. Barnum called.
Attractions.
3 of no, it was a freak show. That's what they called it.
Okay.
I'm using air quotes just so everybody knows I'm not calling them freaks. PT did. They came from the Bridgewater Triangle. 3 of them. There was one like they called him Tom Thumb.
Oh,
Wicked small.
Tom Thumb was cool.
Was he half of the Jumbud or whatever the creature was? The
Pukwudgie?
the Pukwudgie?
Wait.
I don't know what it was.
What did you just call
I
that
don't, I don't know.
creature?
I was thinking Albatwitch, but it was something else.
Did you like combine the 2 words?
I think I did. I think I combined a lot of words there.
and I bring that up. Number one,
Incorrectly.
It's
Albatwitch
interesting.
and Jumbo Juice, I think.
But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that the things are just everything you hear about this is it's bizarre. Even down to P.T. Barnum, like 3 of my main attractions came from the Bridgewater Triangle. Like, why is that?
Well, how many attractions did he have?
At least 3.
Yeah,
Plus some elephants.
If he had 4, it's definitely interesting.
Maybe
if he had
maybe
1,000,
maybe a
300,000
okay.
isn't a big deal.
maybe some monkeys.
well, look, he didn't have 1,000 attractions.
Okay.
And maybe a pony. I don't know. It was a circus. So he
The
had a
pony, one of the ones that was eaten by the dog.
I'm thinking that the little Jamba Juice guy, whoever that was
Pukwudgie?
There you go. He was lured in, as he said, like come hang out with me. The way you were gonna walk off with him, Mark. That's what happened. That's how Tom Thumb was created.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
It's a Pukwudgie,
He was a Pukwudgie. Somebody lured in a human, as you would go,
and then
and then they, brown chicken, brown cow, And now they've
Did
got...
you say brown chicken, brown cow?
Yes.
Wow.
Brown chicken, ow, ow.
It really sounded like brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah, it does. That sounds just like it.
Hey, the new song by Paranormal Punch is brown chicken, brown cow.
That's the getting busy sound. Got busy with the Jamba Juice guy, and now they have little Tom Thumbs.
Pukwudgie.
Yeah, has little Tom Thumbs running around.
Okay, I can't.
That's a fact. It's a historical fact.
Okay,
Alicia, you look like you have something, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
I think she
have
wants
so
to.
much.
She wants to bring us back onto what we would like to say the rails, since we're always off of it.
No, I had something to add to the redheaded hitchhiker, and then you guys just like jumped over it.
We ran through him.
yeah.
We aimed for him off the side of the road.
There was one story. This woman, she was driving, and this redheaded hitchhiker just kind of appeared in front of her. She ran into him.
Happens.
She slammed her brakes, and she was like, "Oh my god!" She got out of her car, looking to see, like, did she run into somebody? And then she heard this cackling laugh that was coming from the woods next to her. So she was like, "Oh crap!" She got in her car, started driving again. It happened again. This time, she was like, "I'm not getting out of my car." She rolled her window down, and she couldn't find anything again.
Okay.
But again, she heard this cackling laugh, but it was like just from a few feet away from her.
Like while she was driving?
No, she stopped and then rolled her window down. Yeah. And then at that point, she just kind of, flew.
Forget it. I'm out of here.
She was like, I'm done. If she runs into him again, she's like, I'm not stopping. But anyway, that was on Route 44, like you said.
Yep.
And then one thing that I wanted to bring up was Anawan Rock, which is on Route 44. It is named after Chief Anawan, who is...
That's the king dude, right?
Yeah, he's King Philip. This rock is basically where he surrendered to the colonists.
That's not a good sign.
No.
Was he like killed there or something? Or
Well, I'm not sure if he was actually killed there or not.
No, but if he did the surrender, that's probably like, as he's walking up, he's like, I commend my soul to this rock. And
right.
everyone in the 200-mile radius of this rock is cursed.
So legend says that the angry spirits of his warriors continue to haunt the area. So a lot of people see like fires. They see what's called ghost dancing. So I'm assuming the warriors are in their full garb dancing.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. Witnesses have smelled smoke and seen smoke, but there's no fire. And then there was one pair of visitors. They saw a bonfire blazing on top of the rock, but then it disappeared right before their eyes.
That's weird because there was a lady that saw on the leg Nipatucket.
Yes.
She saw a giant bonfire, but she actually had a boat, so she went out. When she got there was no fire.
There was no fire. Yeah.
She's like, "What the heck?" And she turned back around. When she got back to the other side, looked back, it was raging again
on the lake.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was another individual
That would be freaky.
That would be a little odd.
that around that rock, they heard a loud, angry male voice shouting, "Iotosh, Iotosh," and apparently that is an Algonquin term meaning stand and fight.
Oh,
So
well,
It's time to leave.
yeah.
that's what I'm thinking, and maybe because you had said that
There's no kicking it in the head at this point.
that the King Philip, that's where he surrendered. That's where.
Yeah.
But maybe the term surrender was something that we, the victors, put in there, where actually what that meant is where all of his soldiers were killed, were slaughtered, wholesale
I don't
slaughtered,
know.
or
No, I think it's the whole. It is just where he surrendered, but it was okay, I commend my soul here. Like
Right.
this is where I've lost who I am. I am giving up. I cannot fight any further.
Right.
But this is where no one will fight.
put a little cursey curse on the rock.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Nice. Okay. I'll get you, suckers.
Right.
Right.
And while he's doing that, all his soldiers are behind him. And like, okay, all the souls of those people behind me are also in this. So there's going to be bonfires. We're going to just take over the area, whatever.
Yeah. I know a lot of people think that this is like a window or like a gateway.
I thought it was a rock.
So the rock is a gateway?
Well,
It's hard to
not
get through,
just
though.
the rock. This entire area, this triangle, it's a gateway for bizarre and you can't explain it.
Why? Okay, they spot them ahead. Maybe some of the stuff I read. A vortex.
Yeah, like another dimension. It's a vortex to another dimension or something like that too. I don't know.
Now, there are places in the world where there are other vortices out there that you can go visit and sit on. There's a couple.
And sit on?
Yeah, you can go out there and hang out with them. And
Okay.
It's just one of those oddities that we're removed here from.
What
I like
happens
3
when
of
you
them.
sit on a vortex?
Nothing. Well, it all depends on who you talk to.
Okay.
So, because to create a vortex, you need a high iron content in the rock, and it needs to magnetize over time. And some people say they can feel it, some people say you can't. I just happened to move here from a place that had 3 of them.
Oh,
So you could go and hang out on a vortex.
interesting.
Yes.
Have you ever
Okay.
hung out on a vortex?
Yeah.
Did it make your butt tingle?
Well, I was sitting on a rock with no padding, so after a little while, yeah. But they're there. People say they feel vibes from them and whatnot.
So do you think that could attract the paranormal? Do you think there's a reason that UFOs, why would an alien race be attracted to the vortex?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know that magnets get a little bonkers. Not magnets, compass. Compass will get a little wonky
Yeah.
up there. But it definitely attracts people who are into seeing those things.
Yeah.
So if you are spiritually inclined, that's the place you'd like to be.
Okay. So my theory. Has everybody seen the second season of Westworld?
No.
No, I haven't seen the first one either.
I didn't finish it. But so yes, I have, but I did not finish it.
Yeah, we didn't finish.
Don't
Is
give me
that-
that look of
is that-
disappointment.
Well,
Is that what the
I
president-
have
is that
no
what the
one to
president-
commiserate with here.
Is that with the guy who's the president and he's in the White House? Oh, it's West Wing.
No, yeah.
It's completely different show.
I missed that one too. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, well, can I give spoilers away?
Yeah.
You
I
sure?
guess.
Yeah, I don't care.
They didn't.
I haven't seen any of them,
Okay.
so don't worry about me.
Fair warning, if you haven't seen Westworld Season 2 and you're planning to do it, stop listening now.
In 3, 2,
Yeah.
1, spoilers.
Okay, so Westworld is a theme park created by humans where they create androids with AI that humans can go in and do whatever they want. But it turns out that this AI is controlled by a supercomputer that controls all of the entities throughout the park, and that the entities are gaining their own ability to think and reason on their own. At the end of season 2, the Shadow Nation, which is the Indian tribe in the Midwest towns that make up Westworld, they follow to the Great Portal, where they're led to this portal that leads them into a separate area where they're led free of their chains of everything that is in Westworld, where they're constantly being killed as the Cowboys and Indians routine.
Right.
And they're led to freedom. And this great release is basically a portal where, as they go through the portal, their bodies fall to their death, but their spirits live on in this new world. And then that world is contained within a computer and shot off into space. At the same time that this is going on, the government, well, not government in this case, it is the Westworld corporations.
Like Disneyland.
They're bringing in helicopters, they're bringing in all kinds of ATVs and Hummers and everything, trying to stop this from going on. So it's a government conspiracy with AI into a portal in the Midwest with an Indian tribe trying to
Are you trying to say the Bridgewater Triangle is Westworld? Oh my God! Hey, who wants to book a trip?
Huh. Interesting.
There's so many just like little stories. This place seems like it has like just a dank history of the paranormal.
Yeah.
That we could discuss it all day over these fresh, delicious beers.
I was going to say, this is a brewery trip and supernatural trip.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we should go up there.
Yeah.
There's some really killer breweries up there, too.
Yes.
Trillium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Treehouse up there?
I don't know.
I'll
what
look it
Treehouse-
up. Yeah, guys, I mean, anything else, Lish?
I just have one.
It's like I said, we could go off
I
on this
know.
all day.
I have so much stuff, but I have one thing I wanted to bring up that is just bizarre. I found this on a article in it. The title of the article is Documenting the Great Cosmic Journey of the World-Famous Father-Son Paranormal Adventures, Paul and Ben Eno. So apparently Ben, he's always had keen multiversal abilities since he was an infant. He's been able to communicate with trees. So they went to the triangle, and he wanted to connect with some of the trees there. And he said that the tree said that the whole area is sick, and the help that they're requesting help from the life forms that are there.
How?
I don't know. That's what the tree said, apparently.
But if you're going to ask for help, you got to at least give a hint of what kind of help you need.
I know. Well, that's
And how
all
are they
he
talking
gave
to
me.
the kid?
So
And like that I have a lot of questions about that.
I know, right?
lots of questions about
yeah,
that.
the whole area is just sick.
It's sick,
And
but
it
Oh, there's
needs
also
help.
a serial killer
Yeah,
in the triangle.
I know.
it's really sick.
that hasn't been
Yeah,
found yet.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's still on the loose.
Yep.
Oh no. Mm-hmm. That's insane. That's crazy.
Maybe he's the man in black from Westworld.
Oof. Oh Lord.
I love how you think that
I know.
the Bridgewater Triangle, it could be Westworld.
Yeah.
Huh. So
I'm sure everybody lives there would disagree.
So to sum up,
They would be
just
in on
don't
it.
go there.
Or unaware of it.
And you
But
could
know
get
what
killed.
you're know what you're going in for.
You
know what
could
I mean?
die.
Yeah.
There's a serial killer there.
Oof.
Why do you think Bigfoot's there?
Well, that's what I mean. He might be there. Like we always think of him as kind of the benevolent protector. He could be there saving people.
Yeah.
In this instance, he could be there, like being like, "Okay, I'm going to try to heal. I'm in touch with nature."
Yeah, the serial killer could have had more bodies, but Bigfoot scared him off. Or
That's right. I don't know. I think he could be there to kind of help out.
although
he
I kind
is
of
the
want to see
sanitation engineer
Bigfoot just
of
rip
the
the arms
forest.
off the serial killer.
Yes, that'd be
Yeah.
excellent.
In,
I want that.
in full video with damning evidence.
That Bigfoot
That-
exists.
Well,
So it can't be
no,
blurry.
not that Bigfoot exists. That the guy was the serial killer.
Oh,
or
so
girl,
you
whatever.
need it like before
You need like
Bigfoot.
his hands drenched in blood, pulling out guts and stuff,
Like
and then
he's
Bigfoot shows up.
murdering somebody, and Bigfoot runs up. Like somebody's capturing this on camera, and Bigfoot runs in frame and just grabs the guy and rips his arms off. And
I think it's going to be pretty tough to get on.
Hey, you got some like weird found footage movie going on here, Dave.
Dave,
okay, which do you want? Found
think we
footage
need
or
to-
Westworld? Give me one.
I think we need to talk off air, Dave, about what your hopes and dreams are.
They're in the garage in a skull.
Yeah, I'd be okay with Bigfoot though getting a serial killer and
Yeah, that's what I mean.
ending his day.
Because it sounds like there's a lot of craziness happening, and he could be there just to try to keep it straight. Start the
Yeah.
process of cleaning it up.
Could the alien ships just be like, switching out rotation of the guards?
Possibly.
Picking up one Bigfoot
Yeah.
who needs a shower, dropping up the one who's
That's
fresh
right.
and ready
I
to
mean,
fight.
he's there cleaning up the trash.
I'm sure people
cleaning up the area.
I'm sure people would disagree with our
He's a-
Bigfoot theories. but-
He's getting all sweaty and needs to clean up. You get a new one in because he's the sanitation engineer of the
Right.
forest.
Okay, real quick,
Protector.
not to kill that conversation.
Wow, but I'm gonna do it
Oh,
anyway.
Dave got killed conversation.
Yes, so I know we're trying to wrap up. The one thing that I found that has nothing to do with really anything. It's on the very edge of the triangle. I mean, really, very edge. But to me, this is the scariest thing personally. Like,
Okay.
if I saw this, I would be done.
More than watching a guy murder somebody, hands and guts, and a Bigfoot pulling him apart, pulling the murderer apart. Worse than that.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Okay. So on the very south edge of the triangle, the Hornbein School, in 1989, a visitor reported seeing a spectral teacher and students. He also reported hearing children laughing and talking on land that was used for recess. To me, if you're visiting a place and you hear a group of kids laughing, that is instantly, it doesn't matter, Indian burial ground, predator, Bigfoot, whatever, you leave. That
Yeah.
I
children
agree.
laughing is you get gone now.
I totally 100% agree.
That to me was the scariest thing of this whole thing. Like, it had nothing to, it was on the far edge. It probably was nothing, but at the same time, I don't know, that resonated with me.
I don't know. It would be pretty scary, but I don't know if that'd be the worst. I'm kind of I don't know. I'm going to go with the at-large serial killer instead of ghost children. That's just me.
Unless the serial killer is the ghost children.
Ooh.
Yeah, they could be. They could be. Who knows?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you learned here on
Awesome
this
theories.
episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. There's so much out there about this, so if we piqued your interest, go check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, we
through.
can't.
We will.
I couldn't begin to discuss every single thing that's out there about the triangle. It would take us. It'd be like a 5-hour podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But what we did learn on this episode is that Dave would sidekick a Pukwudgie right in the face.
Front kick.
Front kick. Oh, you
Under
don't want
the
to do a
chin.
Under
Under the chin. And snap.
You're trying to go for like a one front kick knockout.
Like a tiger
Okay.
uppercut kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But then you would be upset, Mark, because you guys would be like hanging out having beers.
Yeah, I might be the only one that gets to have beers because I went with them.
While
You know what? Okay. No, this works out perfectly. I front kick him, knock him out. I'm happy. Nash kidnaps him while he's knocked out, brings him to a secret location, and interrogates him to find out what he knows. Then you rescue him from his cell and take him back to the land of his elders so that he can be free. And now everybody is happy.
molest you and make little
And
Pukwudgie
Wish ran away.
children.
In the meantime, I'm at the brewery drinking some beer.
That's way better,
She's
yeah.
at the beach or at the
That's
brewery.
right.
She's drinking, having a good time going, where are the guys?
That's where I'd rather be. Everybody, thank you so much for sending us your feedback, your topic ideas. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yes.
I had a great time hanging out talking about this weird stuff with you guys. You're awesome. If you want to send us some ideas, paranormalpunchers.com. You want a sweet T-shirt? We just set up a TeePublic store.
Yeah.
Let's go to tpublic.com, search Paranormal Punchers, and we got our podcast comic book logo there for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some other sweet stuff over at our other store. Just go to paranormalpunchers.com, click on shop, boom. That's how you get the comic book.
Yeah.
That your coworker's 6-year-old son
Yes,
thinks
loves.
is the best.
Yep.
the bomb diggity.
Bomb diggity. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. You're awesome. Guys, anything else?
Come with me.
He wants you.
He wants you. He wants you. He wants you.
And remember, if it's not weird,
It's not worth checking out.
what a terrible, what accent was that? That was
I
not
don't
an
know.
alien.
That was not good.
That was
I don't
not
know.
a Pukwudgie accent. He wants you.